Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian. I'm joined by the beef to my loin, Rich Stamboyan.
Delicious. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, our first show of the decade.
Happy New Year.
We took off for quite a few weeks at the end of the year, not by choice.
Yeah, exactly.
It just so happened that it was Christmas and Rich got terribly sick.
My wife and I
What
got
happened?
like really sick. I'm pretty convinced it was my wife's uncle who A is a close talker and B didn't tell me he was sick.
Oh, you got that Greek virus.
And
You can't fight those off, dude.
this is one of those things that I have like such a pet peeve for, especially with older guys. When older guys shake your hand and then later you find out they're sick.
Does he like spin his hand and then shake?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, just, elbow it. It's like, hey, I'm sick. Like, give me a fist bump or something like that.
I'm not feeling great. All right, do one of those.
Like, I got sick. My wife got terrible. This is, like, I think the longest we've had, like, this awful, awful cold. It's been, like, close to, like, 10 days,
It's possible you might have gotten potatoed.
Did you potato me?
I did potato you the last show. A lot has happened over the last couple of weeks. I got to tell you, I was a little bit disenfranchised with pro wrestling. Ending the year.
It's the end of the year lull.
It really, and this happens every year with a lot of people, right? Like it's a weird month because January things really heat up in WWE. New Japan has their WrestleKingdom, their WrestleMania, Royal Rumble. Then you go into WrestleMania season, and then it's just a spiral of a lot of wrestling happening. AEW, I got to tell you, it was really flat the last couple weeks. This week, however, a very different story. Man, did I love that show.
Oh, great show.
Which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. I do want to get a lot of the other stuff out of the way that we haven't covered. Guys, also, at the end of the show, if you're watching live, we have about 30 people in our YouTube chat. We got a bunch of people on Facebook. We got a bunch of people in Twitch. If you want to participate, I suggest go to our YouTube page, go to the YouTube link, and join the conversation there. We're going to be answering your questions. We're going to be doing our mailbag segment at the end of the show. Also, this just in, AEW 967,000 viewers to NXT's 548,000 this week. NXT was a recap show, pretty much. It wasn't really a show. We'll talk about that also.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? You want to begin with Paul Heyman's circle jerk fantasy of a 20-year-old gimmick?
First of all, Tim Anger, thank you very much. $20. I appreciate the good love and the vibe.
I love Tim. Love that guy.
So apparently, Hunter and Vince were not backstage at Raw.
Hunter, Vince, and Kevin Dunn.
So Paul Heyman was in charge, and I got to tell you, the show started out strong.
The show started out very strong.
Samoa Joe, Kevin Smith, Kevin Owens. I'd like that tag team too. But that tag team is going to be awesome. This Raw was like palpable. There was like hits and misses, but whatever. I like the Andrade push that they're doing, and congratulations to Andrade. That guy and Charlotte are engaged. Nice. This is his fourth wife.
This is his fourth
wife. Her fifth husband. Charlotte always strikes me as a person that she could possibly have like multiple husbands.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Maybe she will.
But the last basically half an hour of Raw is the most excruciating and cringy angle in wrestling in the last like 20 years. And I know exactly what they're doing because Vince clearly is in love with Lana. Right? Because she can get that. She gets that. The go-away heat.
She's getting that Vicky Guerrero, Vicky heat.
Yeah.
With her screeching and yelling.
Who's the woman that used to sing?
Oh my God.
Jillian Hall?
Jillian Hall. Yeah.
Right?
She used to do like the Britney Spears thing.
So I feel like every so often you need, for some reason, like there's that female antagonist on wrestling that just has the world's most irritating. So Lana does a good job of being irritating. I don't know what Bobby Lashley's deal is. It could have been anybody in that position, right? But they love Lashley and they want to put this dude on TV. I think it would have been funnier if it was somebody else.
Who do you think would have fit that angle?
I don't know about fit, but definitely for comedy.
Brock Lesnar.
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
It could literally have been anybody. It could have been Jack Gallagher.
Yeah.
If he's still with the company. Whatever.
if you want, I thought that beginning segment was great for Raw. I have a
Yeah.
real big issue with watching Raw at this point. It's starting to get to me. I'm having a really difficult time continuing to watch it, rather than watching an abridged version the following day. And I'm kind of feeling the same with SmackDown. Now, I know that we're back into the heat of things and the whole Daniel Bryan thing, and that's getting interesting. But I don't know if the brand split helps or hurts at this point. And I'm always
Yeah.
conflicted about this because there are some people that get the shine that wouldn't.
Right.
But in the grand scheme of things, Dolph Ziggler headlining over and over again is a direct reaction to having a brand split.
Well, he's a lifer at this point, right? He's not going anywhere. I don't think he wants to go anywhere. But I think SmackDown is like a little bit of a tighter show, and it's a lot more fun, for some reason. It goes by quick. Raw is tough because it's got so many cooks in the kitchen, at least from my perspective, right? You don't need a half an hour wedding angle. And the thing you tweeted on Monday where you were like, this is how they're ending the new year? Like, this is it. This is it. I mean, like, there are people who are very entertained by it, right? And plus, this is the closest we've gotten to seeing, like, weird babe stuff, like quote-unquote babe stuff on TV. Like, Lana's smoking, and, like, they're going to put her in tiny dresses. They're going to have her covered in cake, right?
Yeah.
So, like, that fills that weird thing, and a lot of people online have said that, too, on social media. Are like, I don't care, Lana's hot. I just want to see what happens to her, right?
Yeah.
Rusev coming out of the cake like Bugs Bunny, a little stupid, But I do think they're setting him up for a big push and a possible love interest. So who's to say that he's not teaming up with Liv Morgan? That whole thing was weird, too.
Yeah, let's begin with that. So, essentially, this was ECW 1996, Tommy Dreamer, Kimono Wanalea, and Beulah. It was such a Paul Heyman-esque... Somebody posted something like, you could tell how biased people are when, like, you could see, like, oh, Vince McMahon sucks. I can't believe he's old and he's not doing this, and Paul Heyman's a genius.
Yeah.
And in reality, it was a Paul Heyman storyline that you're hating. And then when you find that out, people enjoy it. I watched it because it was a train wreck. I didn't watch it because I was like, wow, this is a great angle. But I continued watching it. So I think it was effective in that sense because people were watching it.
People are talking about it, too.
People are talking about it. People are watching because it was so absurd.
Who would you have liked to come out of the cake?
Oh, man. Otis.
That would have been amazing. I would have liked two people in the
Undertaker.
Cake. Don't marry her. Those eyebrows are definitely fake, right?
Whose?
Rusev, not Rusev. Bobby Lashley.
They're painted on.
Right.
They're tattooed.
They are, right?
Yeah.
Theirs was like makeup.
Yeah, it's like makeup.
They gave him like surprised eyebrows on Monday.
Like you know what it was like when Jerry's uncle Leo burnt off his eyebrows and Elaine drew him on.
Uncle Leo.
That's what it was like.
Yeah.
Mae Young's hand, says Bob Hazelwood, should have come out of the cake.
So injured Randy Orton should have come out of the cake. They also wasted a babyface they wasted the injury swerve on Randy Orton, who is the most unendearing babyface of all time.
This is part of their whole house shows are going to be different initiative in 2020.
That's fine.
So you had a title change at the Garden.
Right.
And you had a Randy Orton injury angle in Hershey. So I think this is going to create the buzz. They're going to kind of tie everything in.
So stupid. So stupid.
Do you think it's dumb? I don't mind it.
I thought he is not the. I feel like he shouldn't have been the dude to pull that, And like I said, he's not a very endearing babyface. And also nothing will trump Mark Henry's retirement announcement. Remember that?
That was phenomenal.
Pink suit and a speech.
Yeah.
And
That was
a
good swerve.
I love you. Blah blah blah, and then Cena came out and he destroyed him. He sat on his face a bunch.
That's how it ended. So I got to tell you, I watched the end. I was watching it because it's so freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it was just another show, and that's how we end the decade. Somebody posted an interesting thing. They're like, how we began the decade in the 2010s and how we ended the decade. We began it. The end segment was Brett and Shawn. Because remember, that was a Bret Hart return 10 years ago.
Oh,
that was the first show of 2020.
When they hugged it out?
When they hugged it out.
Yeah.
2010s, I should say. That was the first show, and that was the night that TNA went head-to-head with WWE on Monday.
Not testing Albert.
Not testing Albert.
Total nonstop
nonstop
action.
What a stupid
Silly.
name that was.
The only thing, the little side note, the only thing that was clever in TNA was the knockouts. Just the name, the knockouts.
The knockouts.
You know?
Yeah.
Because they were knockouts.
Not
and
divas.
They would knock you out.
Not divas.
That's the joke there. Yeah, not divas. What if John Cena was in the cake? What am I doing here?
How'd I get in here? I think that's a good gimmick for a wrestler to have, where he just transports people telepathically into places.
Oh my god, like wrestling could be as creative as you want, and like I just think they should do a PCO thing with Bobby Lashley and have him just be a Frankenstein. You know,
A Frankenstein monster?
Yeah.
I would love that.
like if
Yeah.
put a little scar on his face, and like he's so messed up from the psychodrama that's happening. He's just like, yeah, he doesn't have to say anything. He's afraid of fire. I just put him in like a black suit every week, and I'd be so happy with that.
You know what? I'm kind of into that.
I
Somebody needs to make that. I think we spoke about this once, and somebody did make it.
I want him, and then at some point he starts infecting like other wrestlers, so he has like a whole team of like Frankensteins. You know, so it's like him, Otis,
All the Frankensteins.
friggin' Nakamura,
Nakamura, Big Show.
yeah, Big Show.
Yeah.
He resurrects. He somehow resurrects the
AOP.
Big
All
Show.
the AOP.
Yeah. Those
Love
guys
that.
too. I feel like with
They're
their,
Frankensteins also.
they're doing an interesting job of having them look like they're actually big dudes. They are big dudes, but you know they're doing a good job of faking you into thinking they're bigger than they are. You know, and it's always weird when you watch that stuff on TV because you see Seth is like 6'2", 6'3", something like that,
Yeah, he's like 6 something.
and he's still like way taller than the AOP guys, right? So them going against Joe and KO, I think works from like a physicality standpoint, you know? And that's always something that I feel like WWE has like such a hard time with is like, ooh, these guys aren't as big as we thought they were,
Yeah.
you know? And then you have dudes like Tucker and Otis. When you look at them, you're like, whoa, these guys are like
Giants.
big
Yeah.
dudes, you know? Even though Otis looks like he's tiny, that's a big boy.
So let's Raw was Raw, whatever. Let's talk about a lot of the big stuff happening right now. I thought, well, I'm glitched into the Matrix at this point. Yeah, so I'm gonna put the camera on you. Yeah,
Oh, man.
I
Yeah.
broke it in half. What did you think of AEW last night?
I enjoyed it a lot, actually. I thought it was a fun show. I'm telling this camera. Right? Yeah, it was a fun show. I like how quick it was. The segments were great. The Hangman stuff was great. Him kind of teasing not being with the Elite. The ending was awesome. That Darby Cody match was awesome. The ladies match was great. MJF's promo was great. It was top to bottom like a really solid show. I do think the big thing coming out of it is the possible deal between AEW and New Japan, because we're getting WrestleKingdom this weekend.
Yeah, so that's a new development. So
Yeah.
some of the information coming out. So what's happening is that both Moxley, which is one of the biggest stars AEW has,
Mhm.
and Jericho are on WrestleKingdom because they have a separate contract with New Japan.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were questioning, this may be the end of that relationship for them because of everything with AEW. AEW and New Japan were not on great terms. They were not speaking. There was some issue with Kenny Omega's visa that New Japan possibly blocked. All this stuff, right? So over the last week, a lot changed here.
Mhm.
One, Chris Jericho's the AEW World Heavyweight Champion.
Boom.
Going up against Tanahashi, the face of New Japan
The
for
ace.
many, many years. The ace.
The face of the ace.
in a promo, actually in an interview, Tanahashi turned around and said something like he would like to fight him for the title.
Right. If
Something
he
like
wins.
that. Well, it was something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't remember the exact wording. Maybe MG Geek has it.
I think it was if since you're the champion and if I pin the champion, I should get a shot at that.
I should get a shot at the belt.
Yeah.
So Jericho cut a promo that New Japan aired and promoted, saying, if you beat me, I will give you a shot for the AEW title.
Right.
I thought, for me, I always assumed that Jericho would win because he's lost, I think, the last two matches he's had.
He doesn't have to win. Yeah.
So I think maybe because he's still going to be used over there, so he should technically win something. Now I'm thinking, holy crap, we may see Tanahashi and Chris Jericho for the AEW title somewhere.
How amazing would that be?
Possibly in AEW, which would be a tremendous moment.
Yeah.
But the catalyst to all of this
Mm-hmm.
is that Access got sold to Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
New Japan is on Access.
Right.
They were handed a do or don't scenario where if they don't work with Impact,
Mm-hmm.
they can no longer be on Access.
Right.
And they said, we don't want to work with Impact.
Yeah.
So they are now off of Access. They have no North American distribution. They have no TV here now, in the States especially.
Mm-hmm.
They are and Ring of Honor is dead. They're not working with Ring of Honor. They're not sending the Ring of Honor guys at this point. There's a major problem over there. They don't have a North American partner. They're doing a North American expansion.
Right.
All of a sudden, holy crap, AEW's on fire with great TV placement.
Yep.
Maybe we should start working.
Again.
So they talked. They've had a conversation. I don't know how deep this has gotten, and we'll find out within the next day or two.
There was just a lot of staring.
That's it? You think it's Tony Khan and
Harold Mage?
Harold Mage? Yeah.
Staring and grunting.
I think this could possibly change the trajectory for both these companies.
And the wrestling business.
And the wrestling business, because New Japan working with AEW, and by the way, this shouldn't be a regular thing. This shouldn't be they should not make the same mistake Ring of Honor did.
Yeah.
A lot of the Ring of Honor hype in the 2010s really had to do with using New Japan talent.
Bullet Club.
Dude, Bullet Club changed the entire business.
Yeah.
If there wasn't a Bullet Club, I find it very hard to believe that we would have AEW.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many little things that happen. You know what was interesting? I was watching Jericho debuting in WWE, right? And I just watched the clip a couple days ago. And I was thinking, if Jericho got signed to WWE, let's say in 99, and he was just put in the mid-card, like they didn't have this big debut in the Millennium Countdown and everything else, I don't know if any of this would be happening. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many little things that have happened that have brought us to this moment. And it's always amazing. Like, we always talk about, like, 97, 98, 99 being such a pivotal moment in wrestling.
Yeah.
Where if one thing didn't happen or did happen, it changed the whole trajectory, like Bret Hart leaving and Shawn getting hurt and the screw job and Owen passing away. Like, a lot of this played into this. We're kind of in that moment where Cody leaving, Bullet Club getting hot, Jericho being hot, all these little things that may have played a big part 5 years ago came to today.
It's such an interesting trajectory too for all these guys, and also like there's a way to look at it where you can write it off as like, this is Vince McMahon's mistake. These are mistakes he made, and
that
now
brought him here.
And now look what's happening. Like getting rid of Cody. Like not making the dude happy. Yeah. Because I feel like that, like look at what he's doing now, man. Like how could you keep such a talented guy down on that roster, right? And who knows how many other talented dudes are locked in.
Do you think that it was possible for WWE to create a big star out of Cody?
Absolutely.
You think they could have done it?
If he had a really nice run for a little bit. The stuff with like the Rhodes family versus the Shield was awesome, right? Like anything with Dusty was awesome. But according to Cody too, he was supposed to win 2 of those Money in the Banks.
And they never.
And they didn't. And the day of, they were like, we're going with somebody else. I think if he won that first Money in the Bank, that people were so hot for him to win that he would have been like a main event player. But I do think there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and you always hear that there's like a lot of politics and a lot of nonsense, right? Him going out on his own and having the savvy and business acumen to be where he is now.
By the way, we said this a while ago. He was not looking to wrestle full time.
Right.
He left the business to become an actor.
Right.
And you know what was interesting? I don't think he said this, but this was told to me by somebody. I think this was a conversation he had, and a lot of this whole AEW concept came from the fact that he saw what amazing talents on the independents and what terrible conditions they're working in. And some of these guys, like, you have guys that would become tremendous stars, but because of where they're wrestling, he was really disturbed by the fact that a lot of these independent promoters don't take care of the talent.
Right.
Their rings are in disarray.
Yeah.
Just how they treat the talent. And he
Mhm.
started like realizing, he's like, wow, this is really bad. Because he
Yeah.
never went through that system.
Right.
You know, he was not because, you know,
Mhm.
no, this is not a knock. He's a dynasty. He's Dusty Rhodes' son.
Right.
He doesn't have to. He goes and trains and becomes a wrestler, and then he gets signed to a deal.
Yeah.
He wasn't just like a teenager jumping on a trampoline.
Who
and
doesn't know
moving
any
up.
better?
Who doesn't know better, and then moving up to become a. He knew. I
Yeah.
mean, this is a guy that came with knowledge. I think seeing how bad the independents were when he left
Right.
was a eye-opening moment for him.
Absolutely. I think there's that, and there's also just like that whole other world of wrestling out there, you know, that especially with the New Japan stuff.
And he went everywhere.
Yeah, he
People
went everywhere.
don't realize that. He was an Impact.
Yeah, he was an Impact.
Didn't he have a thing with Moose where he was Moose and Brandy were together? Or?
I think so. He was ROH champ for a while,
ROH
and he had
champ.
the ring, which
Yep.
is awesome.
He went to New Japan. Like, he went everywhere,
Mhm.
this guy.
The Bullet Club thing I thought was fascinating too, and because I think I want to say it was Kevin Owens who introduced Cody to the Bucks.
It was Kevin Owens, really?
Yeah, and said like, "Hey, these are good guys.
You'll like him.
You know, you'll like them, whatever." And then that's how they kind of met. It's such a fascinating thing
Yeah.
too, you know. And I'm excited to see what they do with New Japan because I feel like as a wrestling fan, that's what you want to see, you know.
Dude, I mean,
And it's a lot of it has to do with Jericho, too, you know.
I think because him and Ghetto are close, and Jericho
That's
really
right. Yeah.
is a businessman. He's a good
Mhm.
diplomat, and he's able to kind of talk to everybody.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very interesting 48 hours. And,
Mhm.
you know, I would not be totally shocked if you see Kenny Omega show up. Or the Bucks show up, or something happens over the next couple days. By the way, listen, I'm not telling you that this is going to happen. I'm not telling you that I have any. I know. But, you know, we are in line for another Okada Omega match. How great would that be in North America?
It would be amazing.
You want to kickstart the whole. Look, I'm getting a little bit of goosebumps here.
Uh-huh.
You want to kickstart Kenny Omega becoming a major star again. And
Yeah.
you want to have him in this pivotal position in AEW as the top guy.
Mhm.
Have him have a match with Okada and let this whole North American, you know, viewership, the million people that are potentially watching,
Mhm.
see this.
1 hour-long match on
I mean, amazing.
Dynamite. Here's the thing. This is my wrestling fantasy right now.
Yeah.
So we know that we're getting 2 days of WrestleKingdom. I'm very excited for it. There's a possibility that Kota Ibushi may walk out double champ on Sunday.
Or Naito.
Or Naito.
Or Okada.
Yeah. Or Jay White.
Or Jay White.
Right. But if Ibushi wins the whole thing, I bet you Kenny Omega's coming out to give a big old hug and a big smooch.
You know what?
Big
That would be
smoocheroo.
that would be interesting if that happens.
Full on kiss on the lips.
You know, okay, so here's a good question. And we'll go down these cards,
Mhm.
but actually we should go down the cards first. So let's talk about AEW. I thought it was a phenomenal show top to bottom. This is in the positive way I'm saying this.
Yeah.
This is a modern day Nitro. This
Okay.
is what Nitro would look like in the 2010s and 2020s.
Mhm.
It's a very different look than WWE.
Yeah.
Very different feel than WWE. This is something that was a problem for TNA and Impact, where they tried to emulate WWE and copy them with their style in a lot of ways. Except for backstage segments, they did a great job at that.
Mhm.
I thought production-wise, they were on it this week. They didn't have a lot of the issues that they had previously. Being in weird buildings does something for me.
Mhm.
These unorthodox setups.
Yes.
It feels different, and
does it.
obviously we're gonna see. You know, obviously they're gonna be doing stuff on the boat, and they're gonna be doing a lot
Yeah.
of stuff the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
They're doing a thank you to Memphis Wrestling show
That's
next week.
insane. Yeah.
Is Bill Dundee gonna come out?
Uh-huh.
I mean, he has to, right?
Absolutely. The what's his name? The King?
Jerry Lawler,
Jerry Lawler.
the King of Memphis. I don't know. Jerry Lawler has a WWE contract. so I
Imagine
don't
if he
think he's
just
gonna
shows
be
up. He's gonna show up as a guy named Jerry King, the
there. Who are
lawyer.
they gonna bring out now? Who's alive from
Jerry-
the Memphis days?
Jerry Lawyer.
Jerry Jarrett.
Jerry Jarrett.
Hmm.
Jeff Jarrett might show up.
Jeff Jarrett. No, well, no, WWE
Oh,
guy.
he can't. Yeah, that's right.
So a lot of these, I don't know who they're gonna have there, but they're in Memphis or right outside of Memphis. Actually, they're not. They're like on the border. So that's gonna be an interesting show to see. And then the next 2 weeks, they're doing the show in Miami, Bash at the Beach,
Can't wait.
and then they're doing the boat show. It's 2 weeks of that. So I think there's a lot going on there, and then they got the pay-per-view in February. I thought Dustin looked phenomenal.
Oh my God.
He's
Yeah.
the guy that's wrestled for 5 decades.
Mm-hmm. This dude did a Canadian Destroyer.
He did a Canadian Destroyer on the apron.
Sammy is fantastic. I feel like people don't give
Very
Sammy
good.
enough credit, you
Yeah.
know? But him versus Gold, I keep wanting to say Goldust. Dustin he's ridiculous. Do you think Dustin's going to get that world title?
I think they're gonna do him chasing the world title.
Okay.
One last, he's
Why
never
not?
had a world title.
He wasn't NWA champ?
Mm-mm.
You sure?
Nope.
Sure.
U.S. champ.
He was never NWA.
Nope, never.
I'm pretty sure he was.
He was never
look that up.
NWA champ. Dustin.
Dustin.
No, never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dustin.
He would have had it. It would have been anywhere from 88 to 94. He didn't have it.
Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna look this up right now. All right, NWA Florida heavyweight champion.
That's Florida, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
count.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count. It's Florida. Doug Gilbert, Tracy Smothers. Who else would they bring? I don't know who they would bring in this Memphis bash.
You want to talk about New Japan?
Yeah. I want to stick with this. The Dustin match was great. I thought the Kenny Omega match, the Elite versus Pac and the Lucha.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucha. Why was I going to call them the Lucha?
The Lucha
Dragons?
Loops?
The Lucha Dragons. I don't know why.
Because you're a racist.
Aren't they the Lucha Bros?
They are the Lucha Bros.
Yeah. So I thought that knee that Kenny Omega delivered.
Ah,
Holy moly, looked
so
phenomenal. I thought as far as a AEW show,
Mhm.
this was stellar.
Oh, absolutely. Mox versus Trent.
Mox versus Trent. Trent looked unbelievable.
He did.
By the way, Trent was laying those chops in on Mox.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Those guys beat the crap out of each other, which is good. And the Orange Cassidy bit was great too.
That was great too.
Also, see again, like this is like a weird size thing where you don't realize how big Mox is.
Compared when you putting at an Orange
and they're
Cassidy.
like, holy shit! Like Orange Cassidy is very small compared to this dude.
Yeah. So let's go into New Japan.
Okay.
WrestleKingdom 14 tomorrow,
Mhm.
right? It would be tomorrow.
Yes.
So not
And Sunday.
tonight. What is it tonight?
I think for us, it's 4 a.m. on the 4th.
On the 4th, yes.
Right.
So that would be 4 a.m. tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it usually ends around like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, which is a lot of fun. So for the first time ever, we're getting a Stardom match to start up the event, and that's
dark
never
match.
happened before. It's a dark match.
Yeah.
Mayu Iwatani and Arisa Hoshiki versus Julia and Hana Kimura. It should be fun. You have, and then like usually if you guys aren't familiar with the New Japan stuff, a lot of the undercard is 8-man tags just to throw everybody on there, and they're quick and they're a lot of fun, you know. So you're gonna get like a Tenzan Kojima versus Yuji Nagata and a Nakanishi match. You're getting an 8-man tag with Liger, which is interesting because this is the night before his last match, so it's Liger, Fujinami, Great Sasuke, and Tiger Mask versus Sano, Otani, Takaiwa, and Taguchi.
So this is his team is
like the
his
Legends
greatest
match.
rivals.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's Fujinami, great Sasuke and him had unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. How old is Sasuke now?
He's like 60.
50.
50. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's still wrestling a little bit.
And then you have LIJ, pretty much full LIJ. Evil Sonata, Takagi, and Bushi versus Suzuki Gun. Suzuki, Taichi, Zack Sabre Jr., and El Desperado.
Yeah,
that should be a fun 8-man.
Should be a good match.
Chaos, Goto, Ishii, Yano, and Yoshihashi versus Bad Luck, Chase Owens, Kenta, and Takaha and Pip Juice.
I got to talk about the Bullet Club. Bullet Club is really taking a step back.
A little bit of a dip?
A little bit of a dip.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think they need to trim the fat?
I think they are just selling T-shirts now.
Okay.
So I don't know what they got to do.
Well, I mean, look at all the stables in New Japan that have been there for like, what is like? Do you think of anything when somebody is like, yeah, Chaos?
No, zero.
Yeah, like like they all have like LIJ is the only one where I'm like, oh, awesome, that's a faction.
That's a good faction.
Bullet Club's a faction, right?
Yeah.
I think if they got rid of a couple of dudes, trim the fat a little bit on Bullet Club. I think that the thing that was weird is when Jado and Gato joined. When they defected from Chaos.
Is Jado in there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I
because
forgot
he's
that.
got like the little. He comes out with the
Yeah.
skull face and the skeleton hands.
Isn't that Gato?
That's Shadow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Gato is the chubbier one with the beard.
Yeah.
Girls of Destiny versus Juice Robinson and Dave Finlay.
I like the name Finjuice.
Yeah, for the IWGP tags.
You know what's interesting?
Whatever.
I want to talk about Tama Tonga for a second.
My
I'm
favorite.
surprised they haven't done more with him. Right?
Why?
Why haven't they done more?
Yeah.
Or why am I surprised?
Both.
I'm surprised because I thought this would be the year for him. With all the departures from the Bullet Club, and he was very vocal, and he was part of that civil war that we never saw happen.
Right.
And they've taken a step back with him.
Okay.
I thought that he would have a positive singles run. This guy's been there forever. He's a product of the New Japan system. I'm curious to see what they do going forward.
He's feuding with Enzo.
Online,
on social media.
On social media. That's his big angle.
He's also my favorite light voice guy.
He's a light voice guy, yeah.
He's like, yeah, Enzo.
Lance Archer, John Moxley in a Texas death match.
Super excited about this.
For the U.S. title.
Apparently Renee Young is in Japan right now.
Oh, she is.
And Corey Graves wrote on social media, I think yesterday or this morning, saying, confirmed Renee Young is in NJPW.
He gets so much crap, that guy, Corey.
Yeah.
So much heat.
I think they let him loose a little bit, because he has his like quote unquote like podcast. It is a podcast, but like his quote unquote like real shoot podcast, right?
Yeah.
Which definitely took the place of Jericho, because Jericho used to get all the WWE guys.
Yeah.
Right? So now he can't he can't talk to anybody in WWE anymore. So now it's like Corey Graves doing like, oh, I talked to so and so and they're exposing the business, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
I think it's all work, obviously, but it's a good show.
It's not bad at all. I don't find I think so. This Lance Archer John Moxley match is interesting to me because Moxley never lost the IWGP US title.
Right.
He couldn't make the show due to I guess delays or whatever. Weather. So they had Lance Archer won the title. Lance Archer's on fire. This is going to be a total brawl. It's going to be a Brody-esque, Stan Hansen-esque brawl. First time a Texas death match has happened. So the match can only be won by a 10-count knockout or by a submission. So this is going to be an insane match.
The main card, the upper card on this is completely bonkers. I think they're going to beat the crap out of each other. And if this deal with AEW goes through and this dude wins that belt, how great would it be if he shows up on AEW TV with that U.S. title?
I think that's awesome.
Secondary belt for the company too. Because what do you have? You have the tag belts and you have the main belt, right?
Yeah,
I think that would be really cool. Will Ospreay versus the returning Takahashi.
Okay.
For the junior heavyweight title. Very excited about that.
Takahashi, I'm curious how much he does.
Everything.
The guy that broke his freaking neck.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly a career-ending, if not life-threatening injury.
Mm-hmm.
This guy could have been permanently paralyzed, and he has made a full comeback. He said that he's going to change his style a little bit, but I think for this match, you're going to see a lot of the old Takahashi.
I think so. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And then this is when you get into this is where you get into the weird stuff that has implications for the next day. So Jay White versus Naito for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
Who do they pull the trigger on?
I would say Naito should win this.
Okay.
Just for doing business reasons. I think Naito is a better champion for them to have. I don't know. The next two matches are a conundrum for me. I think it should be Naito, and then the next match should be Ibushi.
Okay. So to catch everybody up, they've never done this before. They put it out to like a fan vote to see what this is, right?
Yeah.
And it was Okada's idea where you have the winners of the IC match and the winner of the heavyweight championship match will face each other
unify or double champion,
to
not
do,
unify.
yeah, to for both belts,
Yeah.
and that's never been done before. So there's a lot of good reason to have any of these guys win.
Yeah.
You know, like if Jay White takes it all, they can continue their expansion into the U.S. having an English-speaking champion.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Great heel, great worker, and he's young too, you know? If Naito wins, he's one of their homegrown talents, right?
Naito is, yeah.
He's a leader of one of their bigger factions, and his story is in that he's been denied so many times climbing to the top.
Naito has.
Right.
Yeah.
Ibushi, he's the golden star, right? He signed like a long deal now. They have him under contract, which they've wanted for years. He won the G1 this year, right?
Yeah.
And he's broken his back for the company and like really played ball with them.
He did,
know?
because he could have left.
Right. Okada, you have Okada win. What better to have the winningest champion of all time?
So this is the thing. I think the story is there for all of them,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you look at this, I for the longest time I thought it should be Ibushi, but
Okay.
I don't know what's more. I think the second match is what matters more as far as the big thing
Mm-hmm.
is a Ibushi Naito match bigger than a Naito Okada match.
Right. Yeah.
I think the bigger match, the better story is Ibushi winning.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger match at the end is Okada Naito.
Okay. Do you think they need Okada to headline 2 nights in a row?
Well, he can't, or he can if he wins.
He can. Yeah.
He can. I don't know. I for the longest time I said this is Ibushi's story, but I think that's changed for me because
Really?
it's not. By the way, Jay White. Let's add Jay White in there for a second night. Is Jay White and Ibushi a big match? Is Okada and Jay White a big match? No.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not.
Okada and Jay White is a big match because they have their history.
Okada, but as far as a unification match, a double title match, the swerve would be for Jay White to be the first ever champion, but I don't think he's at that level yet.
I think we're gonna get Ibushi Naito.
You think we're getting Ibushi Naito with Naito winning or Ibushi winning?
I want to say Ibushi winning finally.
They had to have thought this out deeply.
This is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because there's not one direction you could go in.
Uh-huh.
I think for Ibushi not winning the title, it'll be a major disappointment.
Yeah. Plus, like, here's the thing too. Like, if he wins the championship and then loses it the next night, he could still say he's champion and then chase the title.
I don't think he should lose the title if he
beats Okada.
If he beats Okada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they don't do interim
I think
champions. That's the thing.
They don't.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big mistake for them to do unless the story is that Naito becomes the first double champion. You know?
Right.
But Naito's also a little banged up.
Yeah.
He's not in the best shape right now.
Ibushi's in ridiculous shape.
Ibushi is in not even human.
I always it's funny. I think
Can you imagine if Ibushi wins the titles and then he just unzips and it's superhuman underneath?
Oh no. My juggalos and juggalettes.
Gigolos.
So like I think I've mentioned this a couple of times where like I remember I was watching a Naito Ibushi match from the G1, I think, and my wife was like, "Ah, man, that 25-year-old man is gonna hurt himself."
He's
I'm
a
like, "Yo,
kid.
he's like 40."
Yeah.
And he looks ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
So the next night,
So now we're on night 2.
Night
A
2.
reminder, this is only on New Japan World. Access is not airing anything of this.
right?
So I recommend you guys sign up for New Japan World right now.
So
right now.
right now, so you're getting like more singles in night 2, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting a giant 6-man gauntlet match for the never open weight 6-man whatever.
Yeah.
It's a 6-man whatever.
You're going to get
the most violent players,
yeah.
Magabe, Yanu, and
Makabe.
Taguchi. Magabe.
I get yelled at every time. They're like, his name is in Maccabi. It's Makabe.
It's Magabe.
Toriyano.
He owns an Irish bar.
Maccabees?
Yeah. Versus Chaos again, with Ishii, Yoshihashi, and Robbie Eagles.
Robbie Eagles is getting a nice push this year, I heard.
Bullet Club, Bad Luck, Chase, Takahashi, LIJ, Evil, Takagi and Bushi. No big thing for Sonata this year, right? Well, never mind.
No, he comes up later.
He comes up later. And Taichi Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. That should be fun. Usually a good opener. You're getting Jushin Thunder Liger's retirement match.
Yeah.
Is Liger teaming up with Naoki Sano with Fujiwara versus Ryu Lee and Hiromu Takahashi.
So this is interesting. This is a mistake. This match. Okay. This match should have been Liger and Takahashi as a passing of the torch match.
I think.
By the way, Ryu Lee is Dragon Lee. For people who don't know, Dragon Lee now signed with New Japan. He left CMLL.
Right.
He's now a New Japan guy. There was a big. Him leaving was really a bizarre scenario.
Yes. And he can't use Dragon Lee anymore.
He cannot. So he's Ryu Lee.
Yeah.
Takahashi should be the one with Liger.
I think it should have been a 3-way.
Or a 3-way, yes. I'm sorry. A 3-way would have been phenomenal also because it's the three guys.
Mhm.
It's Liger built this.
Right.
This whole juniors division started with Liger becoming this unbelievable junior heavyweight that you looked at as a heavyweight.
Right.
He was a main
big dude.
draw.
Yeah.
First of all, he is a big dude. He's not this tiny little guy, but he was really considered at one point the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
As a light heavyweight, which was unheard of at the time. He had these unbelievable matches, things that you never could imagine. Bloodbaths, high spots, technical matches. This guy was unbelievable, and now this is the next generation of these guys with Dragon Lee and Hiromu.
And plus, he's wrestled for every company, right?
Not well.
And he had that one match in NXT with Tyler Breeze.
Never on the main. Never in WWE, main WWE, which is interesting. Did he do Impact?
I want to say yes. I want to say he did TNA at some point.
Maybe. I know that Muda did.
Yes.
But this is a guy that's been all over the world. He's wrestled in every promotion and, still to this day. I mean, by the way, I got this beautiful Liger.
It's gorgeous. From Storm Collectibles.
Yeah. And this is absolutely stunning. And it was not cheap. But this thing was absolutely beautiful. I mean, you see this guy and you're like, whoa. He has a cartoon after him, a song named it. I mean, big star. I don't know. Do you have, Sano is another older wrestler, 54 years old. He's a New Japan guy. He's a UWF guy, wrestled in Noah. So he's another one that's been around for a while. Also an MMA guy. This is a big name and a rival of Liger. So I'm very interested to see what happens with this.
So, New Japan, Stampede Wrestling. I'm looking at places Liger's worked.
Okay.
Apparently, he did stuff in WWE in 1990.
He did?
In WWF, yeah.
Really?
WCW.
Okay.
Ring of Honor. He was in TNA for 1 year, 2005 to 2006.
Okay.
CMLL.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of indies.
Interesting.
So this dude has literally worked everywhere.
Everywhere.
Except for ECW.
That's fascinating. I'm sure it was some sort of technicality on what happened.
Yeah, right? Or maybe he did. Who knows?
I don't think
he's
did
like,
ECW.
I don't want to.
I don't want to be there.
I don't want the barbed wire nonsense.
What is this, crazy?
So that's his retirement match. Then you're getting another junior tag match, Roppongi 3K versus Ishimori and Phantasmo. I think they threw El Phantasmo on the card. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Sonata for the British Heavyweight Championship. Should be fun. You're getting the winner of the United States Championship match of Mox and Lance Archer versus Juice. I think Mox is winning on the first night.
And dropping it to Juice.
And dropping it to
He
Juice.
do an injury thing, and he was banged up, and, because they both have a bloodbath.
Right.
That's an easy story for them to tell.
Plus, the way he violated Juice in that first match, remember? So he still has a story to tell. Kenta versus Goto for the Never Openweight Championship. That's going to be good. I think that's going to be a very surprisingly good match.
Yeah. Shibata should play a role in this.
You have...
Remember, they were kind of teasing that he's going to make a return and then didn't.
So then this is the way it's on lined up on Wikipedia. You have the loser of the main event versus the loser of the other main event.
Okay, so you're gonna get either Okada or Ibushi versus Jay White and Naito.
I think you're gonna get Okada versus Jay White, which is a great match for Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay, it's a great match.
Uh,
Does this match mean anything in any combination?
Yeah.
Like, does it? No. I'm saying like, which version of this match means the most?
Anything with Okada could be,
Because if Ibushi loses, it kind of sucks the
Yeah.
energy right out of his whole thing.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And then Tanahashi versus Jericho.
With the stipulation that if Tanahashi wins, he will receive a match for Chris Jericho's AEW World Championship.
It's ridiculous. It's so awesome.
I wonder if he comes out with the title.
Yeah,
He has to.
I think so. He comes out with the makeup
And the
sploosh
AEW
all over
title.
his face and the AEW title.
You know
the
what?
Big
If
scarf.
he shows up with the title, it'll really say where they're at in the relationship.
I agree.
Because you're not going to have, especially in New Japan, you're not going to have his title on there if it's not going to play some sort of role.
Yeah, you could also have. I don't know if they do it, but you could also have an interesting run-in from Moxley.
You could have a run-in from Moxley. You could have a run-in from Omega. You could have a lot of stuff happen in this match. Very interested in this. And the main event that closes the second night is the winner, whoever the IWGP Heavyweight Champion is, facing against the IWGP Intercontinental Champion. Double gold dash match for both titles.
TBD versus TB. Turnbuckle Dan versus
Turnbuckle Dan making his Turnbuckle Dan versus Turnbuckle Dave.
making his Japanese debut.
This is listen, the 2 nights. I don't know if the 2 nights thing is a good idea,
Uh-huh.
but these are packed cards.
Yeah.
But if you take out these, the second night seems like a better night. But the first night is going to be the one that gets a lot of buzz. What could you have eliminated? Is there any combination that you could have any matches you could have taken away to make this one night? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is historic. They're not
You
going to
have 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I don't think it's possible. You couldn't have done it.
Night 2 is Night 2, I feel like, is like their Night of Champions because every belt is up for grabs.
Yeah.
They have a lot of belts.
They have a ton of belts.
And plus, like, they also have, like, the belts that they're partnered with. So, like, the Never belt and the British belt, right?
The British Heavyweight Championship.
British Heavyweight Championship. I think Sonata's going to win that.
Sonata's ready for a run. And then you got New Year's Dash.
Yeah. The Cold Skull. Sonata.
The next night, you have New Year's Dash. So you have 3 nights of this.
Does Kenneth Omega show up?
Kenneth the Menace?
Does Kenneth the Menace show up? This is his new character. Does Kenny Omega show up?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take a dive. I'm going to say yes, he shows up. Listen, dude, I think this is a phenomenal moment for this company, and the trajectory of this American expansion, and a possible AEW connection will be determined tonight, or actually this morning for us this weekend. This is the tremendous moment.
I'm excited, man. I haven't been I'm always excited for Wrestle Kingdom, but like I'm extra excited this year because you never know what's gonna happen. And plus, you have this is like a very old school card in that there's so many moving parts, and also you get Jericho showing up.
Yeah,
you know, guys, start asking questions. Question everything.
Yeah, let's submit your questions and we'll do our best to answer them. You could ask anything you want, and if I know something, I will tell you. The biggest news right now is the potential relationship change to AEW and New Japan, which is tremendous. Also, you could ask your WWE questions also because I've really gotten numb to a lot of the product. NXT. Yeah. Oh, by the way. That NXT from 2 weeks ago with Rhea Ripley winning that title, phenomenal.
So good.
That was really good.
Yeah.
The story of Rhea is going to be interesting to tell.
Yeah.
See, here's the other problem. These guys have TV.
Yes.
You know, so now it's not like a 1-hour program that NXT had that people wouldn't really watch. They would watch maybe 1 out of the 4 episode blocks.
Right.
Now you got to watch every week.
Yeah.
So let's go down this. Question. Your dream Royal Rumble winner. Who do you think it should be? That's a great question. Who do you think should win Royal Rumble
My dream Royal Rumble winner.
This year, I think. This year.
Honestly, my dream as a fan my dream Royal Rumble winner, Samoa Joe,
Okay.
who I think is gonna win.
But by the way, that's a very realistic dream Royal Rumble winner. You didn't
Yes.
say RoboCop.
I ended in my fantasy world.
I want Donatello from the Ninja Turtles to win.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, I think, is gonna win.
Roman Reigns is going to win. Okay, I would love to see Daniel Bryan win.
Believe it.
I would love to see...
The Miz.
Oh, God.
He's the most winningest champion in the last decade.
I
Did
know
you know
this
that?
guy. I know.
14 title wins in
Jesus.
10 years.
Unbelievable. Drew.
Okay.
I would love to see Drew win. I would love to see Daniel Bryan. I would love to see AJ Styles win.
Nah,
You don't want to see AJ win?
I'm cool with him not winning.
I
the
could see
Rumble.
AJ. I could see AJ winning.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about it. You know, this guy's become such a decorated champion.
Mm-hmm.
This is just another thing for him to have.
What,
And people would like that main event.
I think so too.
Yeah.
What would your ultimate possible dream match be at WrestleMania?
I mean, realistic dream. Like, are we going based on current? We're not going to go Goldberg versus Austin.
Yeah. Let's go current roster.
Okay, Goldberg versus Austin would be a main thing. You know what? I actually really want to see Roman Reigns and The Rock.
I'd like to see that too.
Which is, or I would like to see Hunter and The Rock again. If we're
Ooh.
talking current active roster, Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar for the title.
I'd like that. I wouldn't mind Samoa Joe and Roman.
Samoa Joe and Roman.
I
Okay.
wouldn't mind Roman and Triple H.
Have we seen that? I think we have. Yeah,
Yeah,
we did see that.
Whatever. I'd see it. I'll
We
watch
did-
it again.
I think we saw it at WrestleMania.
PMX baby. Did we?
I think so. I don't
remember.
It's a hole in the back of my head with this stuff.
I don't effing remember.
Thoughts on Lars Sullivan? Oh boy,
That's a big no. Thank you.
This guy, he's done. Right?
I don't think
It's
so.
over.
I don't think it's over.
You know, I'm gonna tell you something. People were really I got this scenario played out by multiple people, and I was shocked that there's a comparison here. People were like, WWE's going to do nothing. Look, Charlotte's leaks came out, and Paige's stuff came out, and this came out, and that I'm like, and Ricochet's photos came out, and Matt Riddle's came out. I'm like, those were a breach of trust moments. That wasn't Paige doing a porn on a WWE contract.
Right.
Or Charlotte, or any of these people that had, you know, their
leaks?
their images stolen pretty much and posted on the internet.
Yeah.
You can't punish somebody for that at all. And
Right.
that's an unjust thing to do. To go and be like, oh, some ass hacked you and all these photos are out. See you later, Charlie.
I think the only thing that they were probably like came down on her about was like, really, like the title?
On the title?
Like on the title?
But I mean, it was still like, but it was, you know what it was? It was in the batch of stuff. You can't. But Large not disclosing this to WWE is the problem.
Did you say large?
Large.
Large Sullivan?
Large Sullivan. Not so large Sullivan.
I don't think. I mean, like, who cares?
Who cares? But
Yeah.
it's the grounds of you didn't disclose this.
Yeah.
And also now, like, you're getting even more into this guy's like psyche.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, you said all these things, like about homosexuality,
Right?
And whatever. It doesn't even matter. But now you shot a gay porn scene.
Yeah.
And then I had people like, it's not gay porn, it's gay for play. Gay for pay.
Yeah.
That's what I saw tons. Like, people like, dude, he didn't do a gay porn. He just got a blowjob from a guy on camera for money.
Right.
I was like,
That's what porn is.
That's kind of porn, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and it's gay porn. I mean, at the end of the day.
Right.
But that's not even the problem. It's that he didn't disclose that he had shot an adult film to WWE.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem here. It's not that he did the video.
You put his penis in your mouth. Is that what you're getting yelled at by
Is that
Vince?
what you did?
Is that what you did?
Is it Vince yelling at him?
Yeah.
Let me see this. Can you zoom it in?
Would you do it again?
Just asking.
Asking for a friend.
I think it's a. I don't think the problem is that he was in a gay video. It was that he never disclosed this, and this kind of changes where WWE is in the grand scheme of things.
Also, it's still like a stigmatized subject matter. Like, who cares? Like, seriously, at the end of the day, who cares? You know?
But the guy is all whacked.
Yeah, he's a little confused.
There's a lot of stuff going on with this guy.
Yeah.
His marbles are all loose.
I don't think this guy's coming back anytime soon.
I can't imagine, dude. I cannot imagine this guy.
They'll
coming
probably
back.
take care of him in the regard of like
They're gonna pay him out and be like, all right, you're done.
maybe get him some like therapy or something.
Dude, the guy
like,
ran
you know.
away.
He did run away.
Can we talk about that for a moment?
Yeah.
That the guy ran away before all this mental health, mental stability issues came out. He ran away from his big moment that he was supposed to have with John Cena.
Right.
Because he
Ooh,
couldn't.
man.
I think you know what it is. He probably realized that all this stuff is going to come out.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, between the text, the forum posts, and then this video, now you kind of understand. Like, oh crap, the guy got elevated, and then he never thought that like he put everything in the back burner, not thinking about it, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh my god, I'm going to be in a high profile match. Somebody's going to realize this.
Yeah.
And he ran away.
Somebody's gonna see my schmeckle.
Yeah.
Eric Prezano. We have a lot of questions.
Okay, hold on. Let's go. Are we going in order?
I'm going in order because that was the
Lars question.
Yeah. Explain Orange Cassidy to me, please. I just don't get it.
He's a dude that puts his hands in his pockets and goes,
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I explained Orange Cassidy to my wife, and she goes, why?
Yeah.
That was her answer. I'm like, he does this.
I think it's genius. I think the character's genius just because it's a comedy character.
He doesn't do anything for me, by the way.
That's not shticky.
But it's not for me.
Why?
That gimmick doesn't have to be for me.
Doesn't
it's
pop you?
appealing to a younger group.
It doesn't pop you?
I'm not real. No. It
Interesting.
does nothing. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. His gimmick is that he's a sloth.
Right. His gimmick is that he's just like the most over it dude.
He's a slow Loris.
But really good wrestler.
Is he?
He is. He's a pretty fantastic wrestler.
I mean, you know what? I gotta watch more of his
Because
stuff.
now he leans into the pockets thing and the sideways thumbs up, whereas before
Why?
before he got on AEW TV, he would do that stuff in the beginning and then have like a ridiculous wrestling match.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway,
I gotta learn more about him.
will WWE continue to push Becky in 2020, or will she make way for a new long-term champ? I don't know what they're doing with Becky Lynch at this point. Like, her promos are kind of duds. You know, she has nothing to chase.
She has nothing. Well, that's always the problem with WWE.
Yeah.
Whenever a babyface wins it, gets the title. If you're thinking about what was the last babyface that held that title that didn't fall apart as champion?
Right. You're 100% right.
It was Austin, but Austin was so beyond all that. If you think about The Rock, The Rock winning the title, and then things would kind of slow down. The money's in the chase. Always is in the chase. That's an inherent problem in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
The babyface gets the title, and it just that's it. It's over.
Put a penis in your mouth.
Put a penis in your mouth. That's and the next thing you know, you're doing gay for pay. I think for Becky, I don't know. I'm still into her. I'm not as cooled down as a lot of other people.
I hope with the Asuka match that she loses to Asuka, and Asuka gets she
Gets the title.
gets the title,
I
yeah.
think Asuka's really, really hot right now.
Absolutely.
She's like this berserk lunatic,
Love it.
which I love.
You know what was pointed out to me the other day
What?
that I didn't realize? She's got a little mouth thing on her mask. That's what keeps it on her face.
Oh, is that how she
I had
keeps
no
it?
idea about that. Yeah, it's like it looks like it's just on her face. There's like a little thing
Little
that she
lip.
bites on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Let's see.
Whoa, we got $9.99.
Whoa.
Welcome back, guys. Have a few beer on me.
Let's see. Let's look at these questions, guys.
Can you pronounce the name in a beautiful way?
What? Whose name?
The donation we just got.
Hang on. I gotta catch up.
I want you to.
Faustino Vargas.
Thank you.
Thanks, Faustino. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Faustino.
All right. Hit us with your questions.
Okay, where were we?
Orange Cassidy is a cooler intern deacon.
He's not cool at all.
If you guys were tasked with cutting some talent from AEW,
Who would you cut?
who would you let go?
Like 9 of the Dark Order.
That is true. I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that there's a subreddit for Cornette? I refuse to go to it.
Corny.
Yeah, no thanks. Let's see. What else we got here? Asuka story is good. Guys, we're going to wrap it up soon, but give us the remainder of your questions, please.
Okada win. I lost my place in this. Did you lose your place?
No, I'm down at the bottom now.
You are, okay.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
like to see TLC 4 at WrestleMania.
They're beyond that. Has there been any rumblings of a Mae Young Classic 3?
I know that it's been discussed. I have
Mhm.
no dates on this.
Yeah.
Also, all women's pay-per-views also been discussed.
Yeah.
That again, did you guys hear about the accusations against Rick
Cataldo? I don't know.
Cataldo?
Who is that?
So I know a lot about this because it happened in Capital Wrestling.
Okay.
Um, I wasn't aware of the issue until recently.
Mm-hmm.
What I know is I trust the people that are staying the story. I don't think people are going to lie about this and that it did happen. I wasn't there. I didn't see anything. I only heard about it, and I heard the same story on what he did.
Put a penis in his mouth?
No, he groped a wrestler.
Oh,
He
no.
groped his dick essentially,
Ugh.
and that's sexual assault, and the guy was not very welcoming of that. It was terrible. So there's a lot going on. There's a legal thing happening, and then there was charges pressed and all this stuff.
It was dude on dude.
Dude on dude.
Colt Cabana kissed Joey Ryan's penis the other
Yeah, but that was with consent.
day.
This was non-consensual, and it was a big problem. So I know that Matt Ryan put out a press release. If you guys want to see it, Matthew Ryan Shapiro put out a press release stating exactly what happened. I don't know any details beyond that.
Oh, it's bananas. We live in weird times. Let's see. What is the most realistic surprise you can see either night of WrestleKingdom? Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega, yeah. I would see Kenny Omega.
Maybe the Bucks. I doubt the doubtful Bucks. Maybe Kenny, because Kenny has more of a story.
Yeah, I think Kenny showing up, and what if Kenny costs
Jericho?
Ibushi?
Oh man, that would be nuts.
Yeah,
I think if Ibushi wins the whole thing, I think Kenny's coming out for like a big hug moment. And you're gonna get that, or maybe again, this is complete wrestling fantasy booking where Mox comes out to distract Tanahashi, but then Kenny comes out to fight away Mox, and Jericho Satana wins.
I don't know. I'm okay with a lot of that stuff. What do you think of PCO winning the ROH title, Marty winning the Marty in NWA, and ACH and MLW? ACH is no longer in MLW, by the way. That's over. Marty's doing a one-off in NWA, and PCO is Ring of Honor champion in a terrible match.
I can't believe PCO is. It's awesome. It's completely awesome. The dude's been over for the last couple of years.
I mean, the fact that Ring of Honor's collapsed is such a tremendous story. Over, last like 8 months, 9 months. The collapse of Ring of Honor is the biggest story here. On how they collapse on their own.
Yeah. Well, it's also like, it really shows you the lack of foresight. Right?
Yeah.
The lack of foresight, because there's so much stuff that happened within the last couple of years that Ring of Honor was involved with, but never capitalized on, right?
Yeah.
I think Bully Ray mentioned this last year or the year before when they did All In, right?
Okay.
And because Ring of Honor helped these guys put this together, but didn't say, hey, we'll help you, whatever you need, but say also presented by
Ring of Honor.
And Bully Ray was like, they are dumb for not doing that.
I'm curious what they thought was going to happen. Like, Ring of Honor is like foresight into what the outcome of All In was going to be. Did they think that they would just put on a show? Like, they would just once a year or twice a year put on this mega show?
These kids got nothing. I think that was the mentality of like, wow, they did it once, great,
They own the rights to it.
Yeah.
It's a Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
I think that whole thing was interesting because they did have a lot of talent and help from Ring of Honor and New Japan, but they acknowledged the New Japan stuff from the get-go.
They did.
Because All In was all Bullet Club stuff, everywhere, I think Ring of Honor dug its own grave, and maybe it's just like something happened where
they didn't build their own stars at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's what it was. They relied very heavily on Japanese talent.
Mm-hmm.
And they did not build the right stars. They didn't push the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the people that left. That went to NXT to begin with. Adam Cole could have been the future of that company.
Oh, forget it. But you know what? They've had a history of letting their top tier talent go
because they can't afford them.
Either they can't afford them, or they like Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens was a financial thing. They couldn't afford him.
Sammy?
Sammy was his choice. He wanted to leave.
Okay.
But they weren't. But remember, these guys were not getting pushes. Like, they would start with somebody and then stop the time.
But they were internet darlings, you know?
They were internet darlings. But, like, if you got a guy like Kevin Owens.
Right.
You put that title on him and you run with it.
Absolutely.
You got a guy like Adam Cole. You got a guy like even Adam Page and all these guys that defected.
Yeah.
You got to do some long-term thinking with them. Instead, what they would do is give them a title shot. Nothing would happen, and then rely heavily on the Bullet Club.
Right. Exactly.
For 3 years, they did this.
And then, I just think like that's like we don't know what's going on, obviously, but like I think that situation is just like weird and tenuous. And the one thing that they kind of did right was Marty and Villain.
Well, you know what though? Enterprises. They didn't give Marty that he was there for how long? A year and a half?
Yeah.
A year and a half? Why wouldn't you give this guy a title run?
Why wouldn't you give him a title run? But like I think his contract is up, right? So now he's kind of like
doing favors at this point.
I think he's I want to say he's healing up. He's doing like little spots here and there, right? Brody King's contract is up soon.
Brody's contract is up. I
want to see Brody in AEW.
I would love to see all of them in AEW. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Brody King would do very well in WWE.
Yeah. Do you think so?
I do. I think Marty would do well in NXT, but get lost in the main roster.
Okay. I do think Marty should join his buddies in AEW.
Yeah.
Because it would round out, like, if you think about it this way. They're working an easy schedule. They have a solid roster, but it's not but there's room on that roster. They're not just signing everybody, right? And they have their attractions. They have their stars. The only mystery at this point, I think, is the Dark Order stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, are they using extras? Like, what's the crux of it, right? So we don't know that stuff yet. But, you have an excellent tag team division. You have good presentations like the Butcher, the Bunny, and the Blade.
Yeah.
You have the Jurassic Express.
Yeah,
best friends with Orange Cassidy.
You got gimmicks. You got a lot of gimmicks. And I think for them, they've thrown a lot. Like for AEW, there's so much happening.
Yeah.
They're developing names, which is a positive. I think the mistakes that they made the last 2-3 weeks of the year, they've realized that they got to fix it. And the show this week was them attempting this,
and they did a good job.
Yeah, they did a very good job at making you know who the stars are going forward.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Nick Aldis? I think Nick Aldis is a real deal world champion.
Absolutely.
This guy is a stud. I don't know where else he would become this though.
I agree that their NWA, the
big
NWA
fish in a small pond works for him. He's 33 years old, by the way, Nick Aldis.
Oh, wow.
He's a young man. He's not, he seems like he's a lot older.
But they have a great roster,
Married
too.
to Mickie James. She's 40. I thought they were similar in age.
Mm-hmm.
This guy looks the part, man. He looks like a star. Great physique. Great character.
I like how you have Cabana, Mr. Anderson, Storm, Eli Drake, Thunder Rosa. You have a lot. Eddie Kingston, Homicide. You have like a lot of people, a lot of really solid talent on this show.
Yeah. I can't believe this guy was Magnus.
Mm-hmm. Pretty nuts, man.
And
Aaron
Stevens. He was TNA champion.
Yep.
Forgot that.
Could you ever see him going to WWE?
Magnus?
Yeah.
Nick Aldis? Yeah. I don't know how well he would do there.
NXT.
You know what? He would be a great NXT champion.
Yeah.
The way he would carry that belt and he would do the part. I think it's great. I really like seeing him with that NWA title.
Absolutely.
He really it fits him.
Him versus Walter.
Him and Walter. I mean, there's so much you could do.
It would be great, yeah. Wrestling people.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what his future holds with NWA, but there's something there. Oh my God, I forgot. He's the Global Force Wrestling champion also.
Oh, jeez.
This guy looks like a champion.
Weren't you the Global Force Wrestling champion?
I think we all were, yeah.
The Pope is in NWA also. Make a bold prediction about CM Punk in 2020.
He's going to wrestle.
In 20, you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very confident about this.
I know. Daniel Bryan was interviewed the other day, and he kind of left it at like, it's always a shame that we never got to wrestle each other at a WrestleMania.
I don't know. Who do you think his match would have to be? Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles.
Why AJ Styles?
I really want to see that.
Joe,
Daniel
Bryan.
He has a lot of friends there.
Right.
I don't know.
The Miz.
I know it's going to be Hunter. Him and Hunter.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Aldis versus Dijakovic. That would be great too. Would you like to see Luchasaurus in New Japan? No, I'm good.
No interest in it.
Punk versus Adam Cole. Sure.
Yeah. Punk versus Corbin, please.
I'd like to see Punk versus Corbin.
You know what? That may happen.
Yeah. Royal Rumble 2020 winner, CM Punk.
Edge?
Oh, you think so?
He's another return. I'm telling you is happening. I've been saying this for a year, haven't I?
You have been.
I have.
I don't know, man. You think because like at this point,
my intuition, my motherly intuition is telling me
when stuff your matronly wrestling intuition.
My matronly wrestling intuition is telling me that we're gonna see Edge come back.
Derek Schropnell, is there a bigger jabroni involved with WWE than Sam Roberts?
No.
I like Sam Roberts. He's funny. He's all right. You don't like Sam Roberts?
He's a fine man.
You don't like Doink Ambrose?
I think he's I think he's a very good broadcaster.
Yeah, you just don't like him.
I don't know why.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah, I got a weird thing. I have that with some people.
He's got nothing but nice things to say about you.
He's been nothing but nice to us.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm just joking. He's been very nice to us.
CM Punk versus Aleister Black.
You know what? I do want to say, I don't want people to misunderstand. I like Sam Roberts a lot. I think the fact that he's such a big fan and he's there says so much about him.
Absolutely.
And his work ethic. It's unbelievable. CM Punk versus Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy's going to be a breakout star this year.
I think so.
And they've done a very good job at making you realize that this guy's a great wrestler and slowly getting there.
Oh, that's right. Tim, glad you brought that up.
What do you say?
Did you pay up on the bet that Shane would be champ before the end of the year?
Who said this?
You said that.
That Shane would be world champion?
Yeah, you said that.
I did say that.
And you said you were going to eat your shirt.
Did I say
that? I think so. I think you said you were going to eat your shirt.
Somebody find the tape.
The tape? What is
Somebody
this, 1987?
Somebody find the tape where I said that I'm going to eat my shirt.
Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, do it.
That's it.
Did you pay up on the bet? Tim,
I
know, but when was this? When did I make this bold prediction?
I think like around one of the Saudi shows, you were like, mark my words. You turned into JFK. You're like, listen to me. I will eat my shirt. Create a stable for the WWE with the following contents. A leader, a tag team, and an up-and-comer.
Say that again?
Create a stable for the WWE with the following contents. A leader, a tag team, and an up-and-comer. I thought he wrote Cormer, but I don't have
I would do...
Think about it.
Oh, that's a good one.
What would you have as Evolution 2.0?
Oh, that's a great question. I would have Roman Reigns.
Okay. Seth Rollins.
Uh-huh. I would bring back Dean Ambrose.
Okay. I call him the Shield.
And then I would call them the Shield.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good.
That's a good one. I don't know. That's a great question. But you know what? They don't have any guys like that on top.
No, they don't.
That's the problem. You don't have like a Ric Flair or a Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
Every combination has been done. I mean, the most simple one is the Usos and Roman. That's been done.
Yeah.
Seth has a tag team that he's giving the rub on. They've done this so many times. They don't really have a group like that.
Yeah. I would say like, well, you kind of have the Undisputed Era as that kind of like Four Horsemen style faction.
Faustino, $5.
Thanks. Right?
Which one?
Like you kind of have the Undisputed Era as that like Evolution / Four Horsemen.
Yes,
thing,
you have that with the Undisputed Era.
Right.
But they're all up and coming.
Yeah.
You don't have like an old timer.
I would say Randy Orton, Revival, and then that dude from NXT that's got a lot of hair. Solomon Crow or whatever his name is.
Solomon Crow.
I forgot his name. No.
Salmon Crow.
Solomon Crow was wasn't that Sami Callihan?
That was Sami Callihan. Solomon Crow.
Oh, what's his name? Gibson Crow or something?
I don't know.
It was like Leonard Skinner. That guy?
Riddick Moss?
No.
The boxer?
No. What?
Riddick Bowe?
No, what was that dude's name?
Do you think Tanahashi Jericho angle will lead to AEW New Japan collaboration?
I hope
yes, I hope so.
Yeah.
I think it's better than it ever. Buddy Murphy,
James
Rollins,
Gibson.
AOP. I kind of like that.
Thank you. Yeah, James Gibson,
Yeah.
Orton, Revival. There's a bunch of
I got one.
bunch of hillbillies.
I got
man.
one. Undertaker, Kane, Bray,
Aleister
and
Black.
Aleister Black.
Oh, what do they call
Spooky skeletons.
them?
I would call them that. All right.
What
Give
was it called?
us your last final questions, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Final questions. And then we're out of here. So better be good.
the Spookies.
The Spookies.
Could you see Undertaker coming back in like a GM position?
After watching the Stone Cold podcast, I never want to see that.
Why not?
I never want to hear that man talk like a normal
Like
person.
a regular, because he's got such a thick Texas accent.
Yeah. I just want him to be a dead guy forever.
Who would you want to see inducted into the 2020 Hall of Fame with Batista and the NWO?
British Bulldog.
Okay.
I think he should go in.
Boxers or briefs? Bob Hazelwood wants
None.
None?
Nothing.
Flying free?
Flying free. No
free
pants.
the bird, baby. Who will be champion at the end of 2020? Roman Reigns.
Champion at the end of 2020. So right now we have Brock Lesnar and Bray. Neither one of them defend the title. So the world titles are never defended.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say you're going to put the title on somebody that will defend the title at the end of 2020. And let's go with, God, that's such a good question. WWE champion by the end of the year. You know what? It's going to be, give me yours first.
I just said Roman Reigns.
No,
Pay
give me
attention?
both titles. Both titles.
Roman Reigns
Yeah.
and Seth.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No, you need a heel somewhere. Well, Seth's
Seth
a heel
is the
now.
heel, yeah.
You know what? I agree with you on Seth, and I'm gonna go
Sheamus.
Sheamus.
Yeah, because he's coming back, right?
I'm gonna go Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
I'm really big on him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
He's back in my fun box.
Because he's the American Dragon again.
He is. He's all youthful.
Yesing it up.
Drew McIntyre. I want Drew with that title so bad, but they're coming very close to that ending.
Yes.
They're approaching that. It's you got to make that turn to push them.
What are you? What would do it for you? Because WWE's gotten a little bit stale, right?
A little bit. Yikes. I think they need. Here's the thing. They need more edge. To them,
like edge.
you think you know me.
Okay.
No, they need more of this edge to their product,
Okay.
and they're giving it, just not delivered in a way that does really well in 2020.
Yeah.
This is their edge.
Mhm.
This is their TV 14. This Bobby Lashley Lana story, where Lana's in a possible bisexual lesbian relationship with what's her name? Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan. So stupid.
This is them. This is them giving you that edge. But the reality is, this is what happens when you have 50-year-olds writing your TV. You don't have someone that is connected to what people would want to see. And then you have this bizarre language that they use where you can't say wrestler. Example, NXT Awards. They were not Wrestler of the Year, Contender of the Year. Contender for what? What does that mean?
Contender for the wrestler.
What are you contending for?
Would you have rather seen Sonya Deville as the surprise?
I think a lot of people were upset it wasn't Sonya. I don't think that made a difference for me. I know people were upset that they took a lesbian storyline. They didn't have people that are bisexual or lesbians playing it, and that did not bother me. It's acting. It's TV.
Right, yeah.
And I think, was it Liv or was it Lana that said, you don't know my personal preference,
Right.
so don't make an assumption that this isn't something I would be, that isn't part of my life at one point. I thought that wasn't even the story for me. I think it was done for shock value, and it kept the viewership,
Yeah.
but there's no long-term moment to this.
Why would Rusev wait in that cake?
Why would he wait in that cake?
Yeah.
Because they're all silly.
I feel like it's like
all-
that stuff is like done, right? Because like Rusev has nothing to gain except to be the Bugs Bunny and be a pain in the
That's
ass
what it
to
is.
everybody, right?
You know, he's the happy bachelor now. He got rid of his pain in the ass wife.
Uh-huh.
Why do you care about any of this?
Right.
You know, why are you in a feud with Lashley?
Do you want to see Lana get her comeuppance? Is that like the whole
What are the
thing?
comeuppance she's gonna get?
Yeah, she already got like sploosh cake.
Dude, and here's the thing. They dropped the accent, and they could have done it in such a great way.
She gets bopped on the head or
I
something?
told you. Yeah, that's the angle. She falls off the apron. And by the way, this is the second time they've done this. Remember she was with Ziggler?
Oh,
Remember that? Everybody
Yeah.
forgot about that she was like dressing up like a rock and roll person.
Right.
In denim.
Hey, rock and roll person.
Yeah, isn't that what she was?
Mhm.
She would dress up in the denim and come out with Ziggler, and then that went away immediately.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the first husband thing, which was stupid also.
Oh, by the way, the first husband is a guy from Queens.
Is he really?
He knows Coco. His brother is friends with him.
Hysterical.
He's like from Flushing, this guy.
It was so cringy. I don't know, man. Why would part of me is like, I get it. I guess people like it, but why would you put that on TV? It held the attention.
It held the attention.
It held the attention of the audience at the arena, because if it didn't, they would have walked out.
I'm going to tell you, I was entertained, but not for the reasons that they expected.
Would you have lost your mind if Bobby Lashley was also in the cake?
I would have lost my mind if Bobby Lashley unzipped and it was superhuman underneath. I want them to start doing that. I want them to develop some sort of skin where you could unzip.
Punch that microphone, Andrew. You show that microphone who's boss. I think it was like, if you're looking at it in from the a space and time perspective.
Yeah,
it's everybody had such amazing timing to get to the arena to say Bobby Lashley's wife, Lana's first husband. It's very I gotta
waited.
get at what time did Rusev get into this cake?
What time did he get into this cake?
if you're looking
how did they get the cake into the ring?
Or like, this cake seems really heavy. It's almost like there's a 300-pound man in it.
I don't know, man. That's.
I think he should have popped out of the cake like a New Year's baby, just like,
Ah!
like the little sash on him and a diaper. That would have been amazing.
Start doing a little dance. So is Lashley is Rusev with Liv Morgan now?
I guess so.
By the way, you know what's amazing? The internet was speculating on Liv Morgan being, Sister Abigail and this darker gimmick. They went the whatever opposite that you'll never think of.
Yeah.
That is the direction they went in for this. They made her Lana's love interest.
Jilted love interest.
Jilted love interest. And why are you ruining the wedding?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? Why can't she just be happy with Bobby?
Were you entertained by this?
I was, but again, I was entertained because it was so ridiculous and so goofy that I was like, oh my God.
It's like watching a bad movie to the end, because you're like,
now I'm committed.
Now I have to see the end.
Yeah.
It was awful.
It was fine. As far as that, it was okay.
My wife was so upset that I had it on TV also.
I was watching it. I was trying to get Jess to watch. She's like, I don't understand what's happening. Why is that man in a cake? Why is that man marrying that one? And by the way, the officiator, the priest, where did they find this man? With the heaviest Boston accent I've ever heard.
Do you?
He was like a cast member of The Departed. I think at one point he goes, "Oh my God!" I think he found the whole thing ridiculous.
How upset do you think the boys are in the back, because they're like, really, this is the last half an hour of the show? Like, I want to wrestle.
That's how wrestling ended for the decade.
I want to go out there and wrestle. I really do think he should have come out like the New Year's baby.
By the way, ratings held. It was 2.5 million.
Does this lead to the eventual Lashley Rusev tag team?
I'm telling you, it's going to lead to that.
Managed by Lana?
No,
but now she has the two studs.
I don't know how you could come back from this. I don't know how you could come back from any of this, unless it was a giant swerve from Rusev and Lana to, this was like a big swerve and they screwed Bobby Lashley over.
It's like a cuck reversal?
Yeah, it was a reverse cuck holding.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's bizarre. Also, I do feel like Rusev's going to get some kind of like reward for all this, because it's so dumb. Because this serves the point where, like, they don't know what to do with Lashley. Ever since he came back, they don't know what to do with this poor guy.
The plan was him and Brock. That was the plan.
Okay.
By the way, that segment has 4.2 million viewers on YouTube. And I just want to tell you this. The whole YouTube number thing for WWE, very skewed.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those are international viewers from India.
Yeah.
There's a bizarre...
I think it's bots?
Maybe some, but I think it's very popular like these like bizarre angles are very popular outside of the country.
Like overseas and stuff.
Overseas,
Yeah.
like
I could see that.
I,
Like voyeurism.
I think it's something that they don't get on TV,
Okay.
and it makes no sense. Like it's the epitome of us watching TV in the 90s.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think that's what it is for a lot of international viewers.
Well, people were screaming Jerry, like Jerry Springer style.
Jerry Springer, I know.
So crazy. They're gonna bring Jerry Springer out
Oh my god.
because he's showed
Is he
up
dead?
on wrestling. No,
He's
I
alive?
think he's alive.
Jesus.
Yeah, I want to say he's alive. If I'm gonna look it up. If I'm wrong, then man, R.I.P. R.I.P. Douche.
And by the way, this is Paul Heyman. This is all Paul Heyman. Here's your Messiah. Here's your Rabbi.
He's still alive.
Oh, Jerry Springer?
Jerry
How old
Springer's
is he?
still alive. He is 75.
Okay.
Yeah, he could do it. He can come out on Raw.
Yeah. Cast a Star Wars movie using pro wrestlers. Oh my god. Who'd be Darth Vader?
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman is Darth Vader. Who's
He's so
Luke?
big. John Cena.
John Cena's Luke?
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone with Seth Rollins.
Maybe Adam Cole.
Maury Povich should come back, people are saying.
Who's C-3PO?
I think Sally Jesse Raphael should come back.
She's dead.
Sally's dead.
I think, and Donahue also.
Phil Donahue died a long time ago.
And what's her name? Is dead too. Ricky Lake.
Ricky Lake is not dead.
Yeah. That's my new thing, by the way.
Yeah.
That's like
Ricky's very much alive.
wrestling, man.
Friends with Spencer, actually. Ricky Lake.
MG Geek, I'm telling you, they're trying to recreate Macho Elizabeth moment for Mania, where Rusev and Lana reunite. I don't think anybody will give a shit.
Undertaker as Vader.
Oh, that'd be great.
Big Van Vader, not just Vader.
Hell yeah. All right, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Guys, go to our website, gfknetwork.com. Remember, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. Also, subscribe to the podcast. We haven't done a show in a while, so please go back and hit the subscribe button. Do it right now. Go back, subscribe, check it out. Ricky just shaved her head. I think she has some hair issues. Ricky, between us. I think you guys should go back and resubscribe and check us out. Do us that favor. We got a bunch of people here. We got 40 people in the chat. Go and hit the subscribe button again. And especially to the audio podcast, video podcast. You can follow Rich, BTC Rich. You can follow me at Andrew Zarian. Matman Podcast on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter.
Patreon.com/MatmanPodcast.
Patreon.com/MatmanPodcast. Go there and fund us as little as $1. You can fund us on Patreon. It helps us out. It keeps us going. And I very much appreciate all the tips you guys gave us today.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
It's a humongous help for us. Then it continues us to do the show. And we'll see you all next week.
You're going to eat that shirt.
I will eat that shirt.
You're going to have to eat that shirt. Tim's going to look for that.
Eat that
clip.
shirt.
He's going to find that videotape.
Find the cassette. And I'll eat the shirt.